All right, we are back. This is 7 Minutes to Win. I want to go back again to what we were just talking about in reference to that parable where you had the three servants. One servant got $5,000, the other got $2,000, and then the other one, the $1,000. The five, the two, the one, and the two that got the most, the 5,000 and the 2,000, doubled their investment that the master left for them. And when the master returned, he was upset with the last one. He was okay with the other ones who had doubled the investment, but the last one who got the 1,000 buried his talents or buried the money. The master was super upset because he said, listen, you could at least taken it to the money changers and would have gotten some interest. So when I got back, it wouldn't be what it was. We talked about last time the charge and challenge of life is not just to maintain the status quo, not to live cautiously, but to live creatively. And that is where we are pushing forward in this envelope. And the challenge for you in this week is to live creatively. How can you live creatively in the atmosphere of COVID? How can you live creatively in the atmosphere of concern? How can you live creatively in the atmosphere where everyone is being super critical, everyone is being politically correct? How do I master this life and move forward in it? Well, listen, there's a demand on everyone out here. There's not one person here under the sound of my voice who is not feeling some type of pressure. And that pressure can't be the reason why you're not producing. We are still called to produce no matter what the challenge and charge is over our life and lifestyle. I like how this master came back and kind of makes it clear what the real issue was, because at the end of the day, he took from what the last servant had, which was the $1,000 or talents, however you read it, and he gave it to the one who produced the double of the 10. So the one who got 5, he said, the one with the 10 who doubled it, give him all his talents. And some people would sigh in the atmosphere. If you read that before in this parable, you would say in your own human experience, that is unfair. Now, let me just make a new announcement. Living creatively and living cautiously, there are two different things and two scenarios that the two servants that got the 5 and 2 recognize that this is not the atmosphere. When someone gives you something or you're given something, it's not okay for me just to give what they gave me back. I need to give even more. The recognizing term in this is understanding that we're all servants, right? We're all servants, no matter what creed or background or walk of life you come from. We are here to serve one another. My background, I'm serving God, right? I serve my family. I serve in my church. I serve where I do different things. But the reality is, all of us have to see that we're servants, and there has to be a designation where we're giving something of our best because we want a great return. We want to be able to not just give what we have, we want to give more. And so the call on our life and our lifestyle is to look at it from the frame of reference. Now, life is not fair. Absolutely, it's not fair. But you'll see the person who is pushing the envelope the furthest, the one who is making the most critical and creative risks. That's the person who's going to get the most rewards. So am I telling you to live recklessly? Absolutely not. But to live righteously, recklessly, to have a calculated, cautious point of view of life is not always the way to go, especially when you're experiencing the things that we've been experiencing these last couple of months. You've got to live a little bit more creatively and say, you know what? Life is handing me some lemons, but I'm going to make lemonade, and then I'm going to make a lemonade stand. I'm going to sell this lemonade ultimately at a cost. Yes, life is throwing rotten tomatoes at me, but I'm going to take these and make some preserves or whatever the case may be and be able to flip it and move it forward. And so that's the ultimate challenge for you right now. Yes, you can sit here and bemoan that you don't have any talents, or you may be like that one servant who got the 1,000 talents, and you've been living so cautious and rigid that you've not experienced life, quite frankly, and you want to. Well, you can, as there's a word in the biblical anthem and in our world, it's called repent, which simply means to change the way you think. right now, we need to change the way we think. If we just would change the way we think, we'd be able to maneuver life a lot more, and be able to make our message more synthesized in life, that no, I'm not going to take just what life hands me and then return it back. And that's what we're seeing all around us. People are getting sour grapes and they're not making wine out of it and selling a wine stand. They're simply just using what they have, and they're bemoaning the situation. That's where I refuse to lose. Absolutely. My charge in life is whatever I'm given, man, I'm going to let that thing recoil in my brain for a few moments, and then I'm going to find my path forward. No matter what anyone thinks or says about the situation, it's my mandate and my charge to move forward, to flip this and move forward. And so that's why I'm encouraging you today, because whether you can look at life and say life is not fair, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, are you being creative with what you've been given? Or are you just being calculated? Are you being callous? Are you being cautious? But are you being creative and leaping forward and leaning forward and saying, you know what, I've dealt with some losses, I've had some illnesses, I've had some pains, but hey, guess what? You're alive today, right? And those loved ones that you have lost, it's time to now commemorate and live creatively and say, you know what, they built into me a mechanism never to quit. And I can't quit now just because everyone else is cautious or I'm feeling overwhelmed. I've got to stir up that gift and that charge and design that this day is the day I've been given, and I'm going to live it the best I possibly can. So I hope that you're encouraged by this today to recognize, yes, absolutely, life is not fair. But we are not called into this life just to get a fair deal. We're called to be faithful. And if we are faithful and creative in that same charge, we'll be able to live at a whole new level of existence. And I'm charging you right now. I'm feeling it on my insides, and I want you to feel the same thing. I take nothing as it is. I take it for what it is, and then I make it what it needs to be. That's our design and desire, and you need to make your investment. Don't bury it in the ground. Don't do a safe move and just give back what the world gives to you. But now give something greater and live for something greater and someone greater, and you will find that even in the vicissitudes, there's still victory. Even in the worrisome moments, you can still walk away with a win. This is 7 minutes to win. Go out there and get that win. It's in your hands.